Hi Scorpio, welcome to your Lunar Eclipse in Aquarius special with me, Raphael.rey from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So, before we start, I would like to bless these cards, these messages that come through intuitively, and the notes that I have with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So it's worth noting that this, my dear Scorpios, is going to be taking place in your 4th house. So the lunar eclipse is a culmination, it's an ending, it brings something to a close, it brings something to an end. Now when you think about pregnant women, they grow a child, and when they're at a full moon, they then have the child, and that kind of it's an ending, but it's also a birth at the same time. And if you can kind of try to see this energy that way, it will not be as scary to you as some people are putting it out there to be. So you've got the lunar eclipse bringing you this culmination, this culminating or completion sort of energy. It's happening conjunct Mars. Mars is currently retrograde. Mars is your energy, your passion, your drive, your assertiveness, how you assert yourself in the world, how you're, how dynamic you are as a person is all related to your Mars. Mars hates to go retrograde because it's all about forward progression. So when it goes backward, it internalizes that energy, it brings it into focus. And when that energy comes inward, it actually makes you more precise, it makes you more strategic, it makes you more of a general instead of just a soldier, and they're all deeply strategic beings. They know how to be strategic, how to win a battle. And at the moment, this is going to be about the battle with self. This is going to be about, it's about finding a strategic, conscious way to eliminate something from your life. This is happening conjunct the South Node. And the South Node is all about what you're letting go in this lifetime. It's about what you're removing from your life for good. And you only ever get sort of 2 to 3 of these South Node transits in your life, because they take around 19 to 20 years to travel the zodiac. So this isn't a common event. And, the fact that it's happening conjunct the moon, conjunct the lunar eclipse with the Mars retrograde. I think the last Mars retrograde was like in the 30s. The one that happened in Aquarius. So it gives you an idea of the timescales that we're working on. Now, that said, this gives you a deeply eliminative sort of energy, and it allows you to really cut something off, cut something out. Because don't forget as well, Mars rules surgeons, it rules knives, it rules sharp things, sharp objects. And if you can use that precision and that strategicness, you can really cut out and remove something from your life that is no longer serving you, that's not helping you move forward or grow or evolve in any way, shape or form. Now, for some of you, I know what you're going to say, because it's going to be like, what? Your 4th house is very much about it's about where you live. Your 4th house is your roots, it's your foundation, it's the place that you live in, but it also represents your ancestry, your family, your heritage. And one of the things that you can see yourself looking at is where you live. This could see you on the move. Don't forget, the lunar eclipse is about a culmination. It's about an end of some sort, and it can see you really moving. It could see you literally, it could have somebody come in and say, look, I'm going to need you to move back home. It could see something coming in and saying, look, you know what, we want to offer you this amazing position, but it's going to require you to move here. If you are deeply attached to where, this isn't going to be for every single Scorpio in the world is just going to suddenly have to uproots and leave. But for a lot of you, there is this culmination energy around where you live now, and it will see you having to move on or move forward in the place that you live. Can also now, of course, all situations are different, and the eclipse doesn't force us to do anything. It just brings us the energies of change. And there is that word again for Scorpios. Don't worry, I'm fixed, I'm fixed air in my Aquarius and fixed fire in my ascendant, so I know about fixed energy and, you know, not being so great with change, but it's about learning to be adaptable. And although you are fixed water, Scorpio, you are water, and water is one of the most, in fact, it's probably the most intelligent, the intelligent element, isn't it? Because it's intuitive, and it's also the element that brings life, you know. Nothing can survive without water, but then it said nothing can survive without air as well. Anyway, I digress. So, and you also have Jupiter in your own sign. So this could see you being lucky and blessed in the place that you land in next. And, you know, that's the truth of it. Because at the moment, let's put this in your sign. There you go. There's Jupiter. Interesting as well, because now that I put that there, Jupiter is opposing Uranus. So that's going to, you know, bring like another element into this whole thing as well. Well, it's not. It's probably not actually, because Uranus is quite early into Taurus. But whatever. It's just something to think about. You know, there's that going to be taking place, but Jupiter will bring an energy of blessings and protection to this. So it's like, if you do see yourself having to move, you'll end up at like a dream property, or, you know, if it's moving for work, it will be the, you know, what they promised on the tin, effectively. You know, you'll be getting better than you asked for, or better than you promised, because Jupiter tends to expand things. You know, he gives the blessings, he allows you to have the better of what it is that you're receiving. And then finally, you know, with the square to Uranus, which is going to take place in your 7th, that's the house of partnerships and marriages. Now, before we go into that for a second, let me just backtrack, because there is something here as well. Mars retrograde is an energy of precision. I've already talked about that. Culmination and endings in the lunar eclipse is a full moon, Mars being the surgeon. Now, for a select few of you, and I don't want to be a scaremongerer, you know, the 4th is obviously the house of family, and, you know, with this deeply ending, culminating, completion sort of energy, for a select few of you, there might be some kind of sudden end to a life. You know, you may hear that somebody in the family is, and I hate to talk about this stuff, because, you know, I like to use astrology and tarot to be about the upliftment and the better advancement of us and our soul evolution. But unfortunately, endings, culminations, and sometimes even death are a part of our lives. It's just to give you a heads up that may be something that some of you experience, and I hope that it isn't, you know, and my deepest blessings to all of you, and I hope that's not something that you experience. But under this kind of a transit, it's definitely a possibility. What it could also be is you come into a conclusion or an ultimatum with self about your heritage and letting go what no longer serves in that arena. So any family past baggage that you've got from childhood, from your upbringing or anything like that, it can see you really saying, actually, you know what, it's time to let that go now. It's not serving me, and it's not helping me evolve or grow in any way, shape or form. Now, with the square to the 7th and Uranus, the sky Uranus, I kind of, the feeling that I get from this, and I don't know why, but I've had this feeling for Scorpios for probably about 6 to 8 months, that you guys are about to, all of you that are single, are all about to meet that person. You're about to meet your forever partner, and you will know this person because they will incite so much, not rage necessarily, but they will make you angry. This person will push your buttons, and they will press your buttons, because they will be challenging you, and they'll be challenging you to challenge yourself, and therefore they will allow you to grow and evolve. But more importantly, they'll allow you to be who you are, and they will mirror the best traits of yourself back at you. For those of you that are single, this could see somebody coming in. It's almost like whatever this familial stuff is that goes out the door welcomes or allows space for somebody new to come into your life in a partnership capacity. And as I said, that's for those of you that are single. For those of you that are already partnered in established bonds, the square to Uranus could see you really asking yourself about your relationship. How important is it? Is it nurturing you? Is it fulfilling you? Are you doing any of the nurturing or fulfilling? yeah, it's going to be a really interesting and exciting time for your relationships. Remember, emotions are going to be to the forefront and right to the surface for all of us in some way, shape or form. So just try to keep a hold of who you are and be conscious about it. Your card for this is the Devil card. Now the Devil card is about what we attach ourselves to. It's about what we're addicted to. In terms of your relationships, be they healthy or unhealthy, in terms of how your family past, how your childhood affects and impacts your relationships, what are you addicted to? What do you need to let go of? What do you need to remove? The thing about the Devil card is, one of the things that the people on this don't realise is that they were the ones that put the chains on themselves, and so therefore they are also the ones that can pull this off. The Devil card, I think, comes forward to remind you that you can be your own saviour. You don't have to wait for somebody else to do it. You don't have to wait for somebody else to liberate you. You just need to do it yourself, and you need to remember that you can. The Devil card shows up when we've chained ourselves to something unconsciously or consciously, and then unconsciously it's started to rule us more than we ruled it, when it was our decision to get involved with this thing or this person in the first place. Relationships will be coming into stark focus, but ultimately your family life, your heritage and your understanding of who you are in relation to your heritage and who you are now out in the world will be coming into stark focus. I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. Have an amazing transit. Let me know how it works out for you. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. I would be eternally grateful for it. If you are already a continued subscriber, thank you so much for all of your continued support. Don't forget to press the notification button so that you get notified whenever I do new videos. And finally, if you want to reach me for a personal tarot reading, you can do so on the email address below. And there's also some other bits and bobs that can get you in touch with the Radiant Reality community. Take care. I'll see you very soon.